How many handicapping groups can say they were around before Twitter, MySpace, AOL, Sunday morning cable infomercials, beepers, and 1-800 numbers? Founded in 1957, the Gold Sheet is the country's longest running sports betting newsletter and has served bettors for over 6 decades. So between 1957 and now, if you have not checked out the Gold Sheet, here's your chance for only $1 per day. Head to goldsheet.com and just go to buy now or click the special box on the main page to get both the NBA Gold Sheet and college basketball Gold Sheet newsletter for only $7. For just $1 per day, you will receive projected scores, spread and totals, power ratings and strength of schedule, teams straight up, against the spread, and over-under records and their season average line for both sides and total. Plus, tons more handicapper information to help you bet with confidence, and of course, tons of picks. This offer is for a limited time only, so act fast and head to goldsheet.com and try it out for 7 days for only $7. You'll be glad you did.
Hey guys, welcome in on a very happy Wednesday to you here, November the 16th. It is the NBA tip-off show. It is powered by WagerTalk.com, and we got a nice slate of games on the card here tonight. We've got a lot of games making a move here in the marketplace. We're going to talk about a few of those, see if we can come up with a couple of best bets, and we're going to do it, of course, with three of the finest over at WagerTalk.com as we welcome in Ski Prophet in the house and the Tony brothers. These guys are like brothers with different mothers attached at the hip all day today. Mahia and Finn in the house. Welcome in, gentlemen. And Ski, plenty of action on this card tonight. Shooters are going to shoot. What do you got? What are you shooting at over there at WagerTalk.com tonight?
Yeah, I don't have a package up, but it doesn't mean I don't have plays that I've made. I'm pretty sure I have at least, like 8 across the board. And we'll talk about a couple of them here today. It's been a little bit of back and forth to start the season. I know I'm still up a couple units, but I need to do a little bit more forward than backwards. So looking forward to talking about it with you gentlemen.
I love it. Yeah, we got some good games here tonight for sure. And I know Tony Mahia knows that. Mahia, what is going on, my man? What do you got in store for us here tonight?
I got a couple of NBA plays up, a 4%. We're 2 for 2 on 4% plays this week in the league, which is good because it's bringing up all the other stuff that's been terrible. But yeah, I mean, what is it? 35-19 run, 16-6 over my last 23 with 3% or higher. So that's pretty good. And, lots of injuries tonight. So let's dive into it.
Yeah, no, there's a ton here. And how about you, Tony Finn? I know you said you were working on the card earlier. What do you got for us here tonight?
I just was sticking it up. I have 4 game positions from the card tonight. 4 game position, 1 prop, a 5-pack, and you get it at a special price. That's normal. It's a regular price at WagerTalk, but it's a special price from me.
It's special by not having any discount. Very good. Like the way you did that, gentlemen. Let us start here with our contrarian play of the day. The contrarian gods are talking, and they are looking at the Dallas Mavericks here tonight. Second of a back-to-back against who? The Houston Rockets. Now, this was close to, I believe, 9 maybe, somewhere in that ballpark there. And then the news about Luka Doncic comes out, and voila, the line has continued to come towards Houston's way. Also going to be real interested to see if Jalen Green and maybe who else on the Houston side won't be available. But the big story, no Doncic, and the line is on its way. And it does look like Jalen Green is actually, he's listed as active now. So what do you think here, Ski? We talked about this Dallas team not being able to cover anything here over the last couple of weeks. Now no Doncic. That usually means, yeah, now they're going to blow him out, right? Isn't that how it works?
That is usually how it works, but you still got to prove it to me first. Like you mentioned, it's been 2 weeks at least minimum since Dallas has covered the spread. You got to go all the way back to October. So I did get involved here early. I mean, you already kind of could tell somebody's going to sit in this game. And in general, I just went to fade Dallas. So I have a 9 in my pocket. Houston has been a better offensive rated team the last 5 games. They've been a better rebounding team. And I'm comfortable where I stand. As far as where the number is now, I still wouldn't lay it with Dallas. But again, we've seen this situation time and time again when a superstar goes out and a team overlooks them. The one thing I'll say is Houston is so bad, I don't think they overlook anybody. So give me as many points as you can with the Rockets tonight.
All right, he's going flying in the face of the contrarian gods here, Mejia. But listen, if we've seen it once, we've seen it a million times. Once you get that big star goes out, the market overreacts. And oh yeah, by the way, when that big star goes out, the rest of the team elevates its game, which isn't bad. I'd love to see it from Dallas. What do you think?
Well, we got Spencer Dinwiddie time, so this is what he lives for, to be the catalyst. He's actually been pretty good of late. 6 assists last night to lead the team. In the 2 losses in Orlando and Washington, he was the leading scorer, averaged over 30 a game in those setbacks, and Doncic was available in both of those games. So it just is going to be a completely different Dallas Mavericks team, and it's very similar to what we see in Denver tonight with no Nikola Jokic. You get so accustomed to playing with the guy that sets everybody else up and commands double teams and is the status quo in terms of what you grow accustomed to playing with, that now you have to adjust. So you probably see that Dorian Finney-Smith will be more aggressive. Reggie Bullock will look to shoot the ball more. They do go without Maxi Kleber tonight, so that's another key guy off their bench that's missing. We'll probably see more Christian Wood in terms of being aggressive off the bench. I assume he will continue to come off the bench, but probably get more minutes and more opportunities in this one. Certainly a game they can win. I wouldn't, jump all over Houston, although I like Ski's position in getting the full bore of those points. But a game I'm going to stay away from. There's too much out there on a 10-game slate to play guessing games here tonight.
Yeah, well, it would be nice to see somebody else, win a game for Dallas here, Tony Finn, because once Doncic leaves the court, not great, but now they don't have a choice to fall back on him. So what do you think? At home against a poorer shooting Houston team, what do you think we get here?
Well, I don't know that there's not a lot. As Tony thinks there's a lot of guessing, and probably there is some guessing involved in this, Joe, but there's enough to know that you can't.
Wait, hold on. Tony Finn, is that, are you guys hearing that? Does it sound like Finn has been invaded and he's been overtaken by aliens? I think.
Can you hear that? He's from the future.
All right, so go ahead and refresh yourself there quick, Finn, and let's try not to sound like you're an alien here. We'll get your thoughts as soon as you come back. I thought it was me. I'm like, wow, that edible's kicking in right about now. Like, good Lord. Tony, are you back?
That would be a vape. No way.
There you go. All right. So go ahead and tell us again where you were going here.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was talking about aliens in Area 51. We're going to put that aside and we're going to talk about the game. So listen, Dallas, there is some guessing in this game. Obviously, when you have Houston, obviously we don't have Johnson. This is what we do know. We do know that the Mavericks are, since October 27th, they're 0-8-1, 0-9 against the number. And with Doncic off the floor, Doncic averaged about 37, 38 minutes a game. Last night, he played 40. There was only one back-to-back last year, guys, where he had 40 minutes, and then the next game he only scored 28 points, turned the ball over 8 times. Tonight they're sitting him. And without Doncic, their offensive rating, their metric goes from 117.5 to 104.8 per 100 possessions. That's significant. This is what it says. It says the Dallas bench sucks, and even Houston can just take the points. Don't even hit the points. Take the Rockets on the money line and under the 220.
Oh my God, Tony Finn! I don't know. I can't.
There's no running.
Oh my word! Woo, you alienness, man. Hold on there, Finn. Your microphone sounded like evil, just evil. Contrarian, play of the day, Dallas, laying the 6.5. But it seems everyone says I got to see it first from Dallas before they play it. All right, let's take a look here at our featured matchup of the day here. And we're going to, of course, go out west where we get game 2 of this set. Between Golden State and Phoenix. Back in Phoenix here. And guys, if you remember, I think the last time we saw this matchup, Klay Thompson got thrown out for the first time in his career. And there was a can of whoop-ass opened up there, Ski. And that can of whoop-ass was Phoenix just dismantled them. Well, back in Phoenix here now, 227.5 for a total. It's a pick 'em. Who are you picking in this one?
Yeah, and those are the kind of losses you remember. They 30-pieced them in that game. And like to what you said, I mean, let me just start with that before I forget. Klay Thompson, he got thrown out. They're chirping back and forth at each other. And, you know, he's been talked about a lot lately. You have Charles Barkley and guys like that saying, you know, he's not as good as he used to be. And he's coming out saying he deserves more credit, et cetera, et cetera. I'm pretty sure, you know, this game has been circled since that last one. I'm pretty sure that's why Klay sat out the last game and why he's rested. So I would expect Klay to have a game tonight. His point prop was 16.5, and I played that one up and over.
Oh,
now for the side for the game,
get that in.
I'm gonna go Golden State, and this is just a game that, for one, I feel like they care a lot more about it than the Phoenix Suns, because the Phoenix Suns already got the first game. They've started off the season a lot better than the Warriors have. And, you know, just in a much better spot right now. Mm-hmm. The Warriors, on the flip side, they kind of got to put the pedal to the metal, and they got to prove, like, this team, we can beat this team. Mm-hmm. This is a team they're going to play later down the road in the playoffs, and this is, you know, a team in the division, et cetera, et cetera. So I know they're going to come to play in this one. It is their third game in 4 nights, but nobody played 30 minutes, I don't think, in that last one, because it was a blowout. And the main thing for me, why Golden State is going to get better, I know, you know, I usually come out here and talk about how good of a home team they are, and they're here on the road where they're winless, 0-7. But a lot of these games to start the year, they just had a tough schedule. They played, I think, a 5-game road trip, and, you know, not a lot of rest in between those games too. And when your team is struggling and your defense is struggling and you're just traveling from arena to arena to arena every night, you don't have a lot of time to fix anything and make corrections. After that, they had like 3 days off before the next game, and they had a couple of days off the game after that. So that gives you that time to make those corrections. And since then, you know, I've seen them go from a bottom 5 defensive rated team to top 5 in the last 5 games. So just all those things combined, I think they're the better team in general. They're a great 3-point shooting team. Phoenix is 25th. Defending the 3, I think this sets up for a nice revenge game for Golden State.
It certainly does. I mean, I think we covered this game too, the first go around, and we said, all right, Golden State, you know, on the road, there's some questions here, but I mean, they were really just boat race from the opening tip in that game, and then it started to get chippy, and that was it, man. The young guys weren't up to the task early on. I mean, that was, what, a month ago? Are they up to the task now, do you think?
Well, is this me or Finn?
No, that's you. We got to see if Finn's has been the resurrection is back.
Gotcha, brother. I mean, 0-7 on the road is 0-7 on the road for Golden State, and they lost to the Kings in a revenge spot, and Sacramento's been playing as well as anybody, so I don't hold them against that, but I'm not very impressed by what they did against San Antonio, considering Trey Jones was out with a stomach illness, and they looked discombobulated from the jump. So 132-95 does nothing for me. And then we might get some line value if Chris Paul returns, which is a possibility considering he participated in shoot-around some today. Been out with the heel soreness. This is not the greatest of Phoenix spots either. They're coming off that 4-game road trip. They lost 3 of them, most recently at the arena at Biscayne Boulevard there to the Heat by a point in a game that really was fun to watch when you saw Jimmy Butler and Devin Booker going at each other with Butler guarding him from the jump, and Booker still got his 25 points and 5 assists. So he's playing well. Campaign's giving them a boost. But I would only get involved here if Chris Paul is on board, and you're giving me more than you're giving me right now to take the Golden State Warriors, because I do think this is a game they've had circled on their schedule. It's a great starting point to get back going on the road the way that we expect the Golden State Warriors to. But again, we need to see it happen, in order to make such a jump.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Seeing is believing, Tony Finn. Hopefully the exorcism took hold, and we got rid of all those nasty-ass spirits coming out of your mouth. What are you talking about? Let me hear, Finn. Golden State or Phoenix?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do I sound okay? I'm not going to say
I
everything.
already would have hung up on you if you didn't. Yep, you got it.
Okay. Listen, I like that Ski's half glass half full, should I say? He likes the Warriors and he speaks the truth about most of it. But I'm like him, dude. They've been horrible on the road, and it wasn't like they were playing Bill Russell's Celtics on the road during that trip. They were sitting players. They were pretty good defensively the last 4 games. That's what's moved them up. It's still too early to really, I think, contain or box the team in being good defensively or bad defensively after, 15 games. But we'll do that anyway here. I'm certain. Somebody trying to prove a point or make a point. Golden State's been horrible on the road, and they were absolutely handled by Phoenix the last time they were there. It wasn't just a loss. It wasn't just some kind of a revenge here. I'm not convinced that Golden State's better than Phoenix. I think they have defensive issues. I think that Green's not who he was. I think Klay Thompson is he's not a shell of who he was. He's not near who he was defensively before the Achilles injury, et cetera, et cetera. If Chris Paul plays tonight, I would be inclined to jump on Phoenix and not have any regrets about looking back at all. So,
yeah, no, that was. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. All right.
The robot invasion.
Yeah, no, that was outstanding. That was very good, the way it cleaned itself up there. Golden State taking on Phoenix here tonight. We do have, of course, an overtime game that we want to talk about. This here, of course, will focus on the total here, gentlemen. And the total is going to involve the Celtics and the Hawks. In this game, 232 to open. We've seen some money coming in, continuing to rise. Is Brogdon playing? We got to double check that injury report. He's out. So
no Brogdon, no Smart.
No Smart either. So I don't know where the hell defense coming from here, Ski. I don't know if defense is coming. But what do you think? Is there still room to bang the over in this one?
I think I would look a different direction. I would look towards the under. I know both of these teams have been playing with pace, but it has been, 2 top 10 defensive rated teams the last 5 games. And if you're missing your 2 point guards in Brogdon and Smart, that's obviously going to affect your offense, as good as the offense has been for the Celtics. We saw last year in the playoffs, and we've seen plenty of times when it's just Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum trying to take turns setting each other up. It's not always the best outcome. So for an Atlanta team that's playing good defense right now, I would think they can, hold them down tonight. I would look more towards the under. I'll share a little bit more. I know it's overtime, but I like this game quite a bit. And I think you also have to look towards Capella, and I chose to look towards him on his rebounds. He's gone over his rebound number of 11.5. I think 5 of his last 6 games. He averages the second most rebounds, I believe, so far, and he's close to 12. And the last 4 games versus Celtics, I'm pretty sure he averages somewhere close to 12 as well. So I like him to clear that 11.5 number tonight. And I like the Hawks on the side just because I get Boston has won 7 games in a row, but I'm just not too enthused or impressed with the competition that they did it against. Whereas Atlanta, they faced Bucks a couple times. They faced the Sixers and another team that I respect a bit more than Boston's competition. And I know how good Atlanta is at the house. My numbers just tell me that as many games as Boston's won lately, Atlanta's been the better defensive rated team and the better rebounding team the last 5 games. So I'll rock with them as well.
All right, lad, there's some opportunities in this game for sure. Ski likes it, Tony Mejia. How about you here? Is this you think this is an over spot, or do you think maybe the scoring regresses a little bit?
I do think it's an over spot just because you take your best defender out of the mix if you're Boston with no Smart. Brogdon's also a pretty solid defender. It's just a matter of whether the second stringers can score. And Peyton Pritchard's a pretty good shooter, but you can victimize him on defense. And I don't think that we'll see either DeJounte Murray or Trae Young slow things down whatsoever. I like this for a player prop as a Jaylen Brown spot because it's Jaylen Brown's hometown of Atlanta. He always likes to show out there. We've seen the Celtics play really good basketball of late, but really high-scoring basketball of late. Going back to the Detroit win, 128-112. They beat Denver 131-112. 117-108 against the Pistons. 126-122 against Thunder. All those teams aren't shy about running, and neither are the Hawks. Hawks are, I think, fourth in pace this season, and they come off a big win over over the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo on board. So playing well, bounced back from the loss in Philly, and starting off a homestand against Boston and Toronto. They'll get Sacramento in next week, so maybe they can settle in and start playing really good basketball. I don't trust this team on the defensive end either. I think they're best when Trae Young gets in a rhythm, shooting the ball, and Murray can push. So I would say over or pass for me, and definitely Jaylen Brown over his points, rebounds, and assists, especially since he'll be handling the ball more with no Marcus Smart.
Yeah, no, absolutely going to be some opportunities for him there. What do you think, Tony, Finn? Is this a over spot still for you, or you looking at the under here minus Marcus Smart? Oh, no, he's back. The alien is back. All right, hold on to that thought there, Finn. Hold on. We'll get you one more time there. My goodness. It's good. It's not good. I don't know. You're all sorts of, exorcist going on here. But we do have, of course, a dog, and I believe he is barking. Robin, is it? We'll get Finn's answer to that as well. Go ahead. Let's hear him.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog.
There you go.
That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, they are barking here tonight. Let's take a look at what we've got. We've got Indiana, OKC, Orlando, shocker. Atlanta, we just talked about there. Miami tonight is a dog. Cleveland, Chicago, Houston. You got the Knicks as a dog, and you got Phoenix. So not a lot of crazy dogs here, Ski, but is there one that might be barking for you tonight?
Man, I wasn't prepared for this today, but I like a lot of dogs, but I know Kelly, I hope Kelly's not watching. She don't like when you take these short dogs. There's not too many options.
Tonight.
Yeah, it's no options. So
Yep.
I guess you can't be too mad at this one tonight. Best one on the board, just because we did not talk about it, I think Halliburton is going to play tonight. And the Pacers have been getting the backers paid. If you've been backing them, I think the last 4, maybe even 5 times.
7-0, I think.
Oh yes, I've been on them the past 3-4 times. I know that. So I'm on them again tonight. I think they'll win the game outright.
All right. Can't argue with that, especially if Halliburton is going. How about it, Tony, Finn? You got a dog here we can hear?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep,
How
gotcha.
do I have it? I'm sure it'll screw up before I'm done. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers today. I think they're getting, 4 from the Milwaukee Brewers, who are really shorthanded. And
Yes.
and I think not that Cleveland's completely healthy, should we say, but I like this situation. I really do. And give me the 4 points, Cleveland. I think if you want to, just play them again. Much like I feel about Houston, play them on the money line. I think they win straight up.
Ooh, see, now you're talking. That's what I'm talking. That's how the dogs bark, Mejia. Which one are you looking at here tonight?
I mean, I have a client play, so I won't give that out. I will give out, I guess, the Miami Heat, even though no Tyler Hero. But it's a spot against the Raptors, who are equally banged up. I mean, I think the latest injury report still had a questionable tag on both Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr., and you already know that Siakam is out, and so is Precious Achiuwa, who played really well against the Heat, who originally drafted him. And Otto Porter Jr. is out too, so they're down to Chris Boucher, and Scotty Barnes and OG Anunoby. So not as imposing up front as they typically are, and I don't see Bam Adebayo's out now. So let me scratch that. I'm going to give you guys a client play then. How's that for an audible? I'll give you guys exactly what because I didn't see Adebayo out. If he's out, that
Yeah, just saw that. Yep.
I'm out on the Heat, so no play there. I'll give you what clients got. It's a 3% play. It is the New York Knicks plus a bucket in Denver in the first half. And the reason why I went first half instead of full game is because altitude is altitude. And the Knicks are playing on the second night of a back-to-back after winning in Salt Lake City against the Jazz last night. So who knows how those legs hold up in the second half, regardless of who's playing. First half, I like them. I think the fact that the Denver Nuggets are going to be without Nikola Jokic, who does such a nice job of getting everybody in a flow. Aaron Gordon is questionable, and Bones Highland, who's the heart and soul off that bench, is out as well. And there's a virus running through that team. I mean, that's what got Jokic and Highland out, and whether it's COVID or not, that's what has Gordon questionable. So first half, go New York Knicks.
All right, liking the Knicks again. I don't know, whatever that team eating in that strip club that James Harden recommended the other day, it really worked wonders last night for the Knicks here as they seem to finally be on the same page. We'll see if they can get it done here early in the game, first half for Tony Mejia. All right, now it is time, of course, for Best Bets. 60 seconds on the clock. You guys do whatever the hell you want with it, as long as you throw out a best bet for us here tonight. And Ski, start us off here, man. Where are you looking on the card tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to use this one just because I put out a tweet earlier and said, if DJ's starting tonight, I'll be running to the window. And I'm getting questions about who is DJ? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? And Tony's already, began speaking about the game and all the people who are going to be out for the Denver Nuggets side. And DeAndre Jordan, as soon as I saw him as the expected starter, I just said, oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
He might be the worst player in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry to take shots like that, but that's just how I feel. So Denver is already bottom 5 points in the paint allowed. Knicks are second in scoring points in the paint. It's either play DeAndre Jordan or what are you going to do, play small ball?
Yeah.
I just think the Knicks feast. I agree with everything Tony said about you want to get in and get out because it's a back-to-back. And the longer the game goes on, those legs could get tired. So give me the New York Knicks on the first half, plus I think it was 1.5.
Yep, plus 1.5. I love it. Could you imagine being the worst guy at whatever your position is and still making $15 million a year to suck ass? That's kind of whatever that job is, Ski. I want it, man. I don't know how we do that. Tony Mejia, talk to us, my man. That guy at the end of the bench, it pays pretty well in the association. 60 seconds. Where are you going here, Mejia?
Yeah, it pays to be 7 feet tall and really athletic. And back in the day when Lob City became a thing, he was a big part of it. So now he's coaching off that and being a really nice guy and a good veteran. So good for him. But I agree with Ski. I mean, at this point, he's a liability when he plays longer than 5 minutes on the floor. And even if he gives you 4 good minutes, the fifth one's usually a disaster. So, and he's not going to set the table. But let's move on to the game I'll give out as a best bet on the show. It'll be the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first half against the Orlando Magic. Still no word on whether Wendell Carter Jr. will play, but we already know Paolo Banchero will sit out. And even though Orlando is at home, it's not much of a home court advantage early on in games. Minnesota comes off their best win, arguably, of the season. And I think they'll be looking to get momentum. They've certainly been the most disappointing team in the league as far as I'm concerned, but they come off a win over the Cavaliers. I think they'll keep the good times going. Give me the first half in Orlando with the Timberwolves.
All right. Did we say Banchero's going or no? Is he
Banchero out.
He is
Wendell
out,
Carter
so.
Jr., the only guy that we're waiting to see if he will play. Cole Anthony is out. Although a player prop here for free too. I think that you'll see Jalen Suggs, especially with more opportunities to handle the ball with Anthony out. He's a good points, rebounds, assists guy too tonight, playing against his hometown team that he rarely sees.
Hey, if they stop turning the ball over, that would be fantastic. Tony Finn, come on, man. 60 seconds, alien sounds and all. Tell us where you're going here tonight.
First off, Tony Mejia's play that he just gave out is a good play. Orlando is the lowest scoring second half team so far this season because they're just playing so shorthanded. Good. I like your play, Tony. We're going to go to the Celtics and Hawks game I started to talk about, but was zipped, alien, whatever, outed. Again, not that there's a big sample size, guys, but without Brogdon and without Smart, how about this? 169.6. The starting lineup, 169 points per 100 possessions. That's what this starting lineup does. Give me over in the Atlanta Hawks and Boston Celtics in hot Atlanta tonight. Over.
Ooh. Up and over that total, which I think coincides to when you got cut off earlier there. Tony Finn, one last. Do you have a play in the Golden State Phoenix game? You didn't get a chance to finish it. Where were you looking at?
I don't. Here's one. If Paul is active, playing, dressed, plays at least 20 minutes, we don't know that. But if he's in, I'm on Phoenix. Phoenix is Golden State's been horrendous on the road. Light ski, show me.
All right. A lot of that right about now this time of year. Let's take a look here, guys, to recap it. We got ourselves Ski Prophet, his dog, even though he wasn't expecting to have to pick up after the dog. He going Indiana here, plus 2.5. He got no problem, Halliburton going. His best bet, though, is Knicks in the first half. Lay it here, guys. Loves that play, as does Tony Mejia. His dog is the Knicks there early on against the depleted Denver team. But Minnesota, it looks like a first-half play as well, should be in the cards here tonight, while Tony Finn thinks the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on a shorthanded Milwaukee squad. That's not a bad look either, at plus money on the money line, while the Boston-Atlanta over 233.5. Not a bad way to look, and we all know how this works. The contrarian gods see the market overreact to a star player going out, and that, of course, means back that team. Saw it with Zion last night. Could it be with Doncic again tonight? It may not matter, but you guys should head over to WagerTalk.com and go ahead, hop on board right now. You can visit Ski's page. You can visit Tony Finn's page, Tony Mejia's page. The best bets are locked and loaded. One of those 3-day, 7-day, 30-day all-access packages, guys. That's the way to go. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Visit all three of these guys. Partner up here in what is going to be a very profitable Wednesday night in the association. And on behalf of Ski and the Tony brothers here, Mejia and Finn, we appreciate the time. Best of luck with all your plays here tonight, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow with the NBA Tip-Off Show. Until then, best of luck, guys. We'll see you soon.
How many handicapping groups can say they're around before Twitter, MySpace, AOL, Sunday morning cable infomercials, beepers, and 1-800 numbers? Founded in 1957, The Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter and has served bettors for over 6 decades. So between 1957 and now, if you have not checked out The Gold Sheet, here's your chance for only $1 per day. Head to goldsheet.com and just go to Buy Now or click the special box on the main page to get both the NBA Gold Sheet and College Basketball Gold Sheet newsletter for only $7. For just $1 per day, you will receive projected scores, spread and totals, power ratings and strength of schedule, teams straight up, against the spread, and over-under records and their season average line for both sides and total. Plus, tons more handicapper information to help you bet with confidence, and of course, tons of picks. This offer is for a limited time only, so act fast and head to goldsheet.com and try it out for 7 days for only $7. You'll be glad you did.